I bought this close. I was looking for a bull bar closing on its high in here after two legs down. But we raced up, so I didn't get that opportunity. So I decided to buy the close, thinking that this bar was big enough to put us into always in long, and that we'd get at least a small second leg up. In hindsight, I probably should have bought closer to the bad buy signal, because with the tail on top here, I think it made it more likely that we would test down. But I thought this bar is enough to make us long. So if this bar closes with a reasonably sized bear body, then I might exit break even. But I think we should get a small second leg up from this bar. It's already up 30 cents from this test of the buy signal, so that's a much better entry. I guess if you're willing to miss the trade and leave your buy limit down here, you can make a lot more. But you have to be willing to miss the trade, and that in some cases it won't come down, and it'll just race up, and then you'll miss the trade. And so that patience is something that would be valuable to develop when you know enough setups that each individual setup doesn't mean much to you, so you can afford to just let it go. I think that's a good place to be, where you can get the price that you choose instead of worrying about missing the trade. I'm gonna look to get out break even because of the bear follow through, and then I'll see if we go sideways, and if I get a buy signal, then I might take that. But for this impulse, I think it's better if I just get out. I think overall my losses and my wins are going to be bigger now because I'm trying to trade the full size. So if I get stopped out here, it'll be a pretty decent size loss, maybe $15. So it's going to be a bit of a shock to me to see those numbers, but I do want to get in the habit of trading this full size. I didn't expect it to collapse like this and not let bulls out near the high close. So I don't know if we fall below here first before bouncing a little bit, but I thought a second leg up was likely from this impulse. So let's see what we get. Okay, so I got stopped out there. I guess it wasn't as bad as I thought. I was planning to buy above this bar, but we had a tail, so I ended up buying lower. So it's a smaller loss. It's still reasonably sized, but $9.25. I didn't expect that. I think that probably means that we have to get back somewhere here later in the day. But I didn't think that we'd break below the low without getting a second leg up. So, but even within this stop out, anyone who bought lower here did make enough for a scalp. So that's a reasonable adjustment. I haven't ordered to buy above this bull bar. I'm worried that it's too big, but it is a higher low double bottom, so I think it's a reasonable swing buy for a test of the high, the sell climax up here, and to get back up to this high close. So I think it's okay. It's just it's a second entry, but this bar is big, and the bar before it is big, and the bar after it, the buy signal is big as well. So I'm not sure if that makes it a lower probability. I do think it makes it lower probability, but I don't know if it's enough to reverse and then stop me out. So we'll see. But this one, I stopped out here, but there were buyers below, and we did end up getting back up to the high close, which if I was better, I would have bought low here and scalped, and then I would have looked to buy down here, either below or above here, or somewhere down here, betting that we get back up. But I didn't feel comfortable buying in here, but I have to make that adjustment for sure. Let's take off half at the high of the sell climax if we get there, and the other half at the high close if we get there. Otherwise, if we get a bear bar closing on its low, it would be a low to sell, so I'll exit below that. And if this entry bar is a bear bar, I'll exit below that. I ended up just getting out all of it at 10 cents. We reversed down from 5 cents below my target, and now we have a big tail on top. It's a low to sell, but not a good sell signal. So I think buyer's somewhere in here, but it wasn't really as strong as I'd like it to be. So I gave it a chance to get to my target. Didn't look as strong as I'd like it to be. So I ended up exiting all for 20 cents. Sorry, all for 10 cents. So I ended up making $3 on it, 30 shares and 10 cents per share. So at 647 now. I just bought above this bull bar, second entry buy. I'm seeing it as double bottom higher low here, breakout, tested the breakout point, and then a second entry buy. So I think it's reasonable. On this second entry buy, I exited with 10 cents. I was a little bit too impatient. I had my target a couple cents below the high close, thinking that we should test there. It's also possible that there are sellers at the low of this buy signal, the low of the sell signal. If we bought the low of that and we get back up there, there might be sellers there, but I also think the high close is a reasonable target as well. Ended up getting out with 10 cents. Ideally, I wanted it to get to my target on this bar, but we slowed down, and then we had started hesitating on this bar. So I just decided to exit with 10 cents. I don't know if it's the same situation here. I think with this one, I think it was a mistake because I think the sell climax high was a very reasonable target. And so that one I would say is impatience. This one, I don't know if the target was the low of the sell signal or the high close. And because I was already thinking that the low of the sell signal could be a possible area where we sell off, I was nervous between the two. And when we stalled at the low here at 21, I decided to just take it at 21. So this one I think is an uncertainty of the target, whereas this one I think the target was certain, but the management was poor because it was impatience. So 10 cents on 60 shares, so I made $6 there. So down 47 cents now.